Y'all, welcome to Layn HyreCar University. I'm going to share a few quick tips I use to actually buy cars. I own 20 cars in general. I'm also a HyreCar owner. I have multiple cars on the HyreCar platform. I've been making quite a bit of money on there, and I want you guys to make as much money as me or even more than me. You guys can definitely do better than me. So I'm going to share what I've learned so you guys don't have to make the same mistakes I've made. Far from perfect, but I'm going to do my best to assist you guys. So this is how you actually, in my personal opinion, how you buy a car for HyreCar. First and foremost, you gotta. There's a few different ways you do it. If you're gonna buy from either a private seller, a dealership, it's completely different ways. But first, I'm gonna start off with a private seller, which I think is actually one of the best ways to do it. If you buy from a private seller, you usually get a discount because you remove the middleman and you can buy directly from the seller. But if you're gonna buy this way, it's a bit of a wild, wild west because you're buying from an individual. What you need to do is you have to actually always purchase a Carfax yourself. I would even recommend negotiating that where the owner of that car or the seller, the private seller is going to buy that for you. And the way you do that, you just negotiate the price down. For example, if the Carfax report is $35, reduce $35 from whatever they're selling the car for. If they sell it for say $7,000, you deduct $35. Then you're at $6,965 pretty much, right? So pretty much do that. You just deduct whatever it is, and that's how you have the seller. You offset your own costs, and that's how you do it. That's a quick negotiation tactic. Anything you have to pay for, to deduct that and negotiate that into the price. That's what I highly recommend. Always get a Carfax because Carfax will allow you to see what the history is. It's not perfect. I want to make that very clear. It's not perfect, but it's very darn close though. It shares basically the history of the vehicle, where it's been through, even the services, if it's actually been taken care of. It's very important to know where your car has been. Is it did it used to be a rental car? Did it used to be a part of a lease program? Was it a private sale, a regular car, like a commuter car? You want to know the history. It lets you know the maintenance, if they got oil changes consistently. Then you start to know, hey, this owner took great care of the car, or these last few owners took great care of the car. Oh, hey, this person never got an oil change. What's going on? And this also gives you a negotiation tactic, so you can actually reduce the price when you speak with the a private seller. You say, hey, what's wrong? Why didn't you get oil changes? Hey, you didn't keep it with your car. This is in the best condition. I could bring down the price a bit. That's how you do it. So Carfax is very, very important. Negotiate that price into it. So if it costs $35, for example, deduct $35 for whatever they're selling. So that way it's actually the seller paying for it. If they know that or not, you just negotiate the price down. That's a quick tip. Always get Carfax. Always get Carfax. Next step, always use rideshare mechanic. Highly recommend them, very much so, and HyreCar also recommends them. But I really love rideshare mechanic because what it is essentially is to put your vehicle on HyreCar, especially for Uber and Lyft drivers, it needs to pass a 19-point inspection. If it doesn't pass a 19-point inspection, it won't be accepted on the HyreCar platform, and driver and Lyft and Uber won't accept the vehicle. So you have to actually get a vehicle inspection for Uber and Lyft. And the way to do this, there's a few ways you can actually do it, but the most convenient way I found to do it is actually going through a great company named Rideshare Mechanic. I left the link below, and I'm going to share the screen at the end of this video on how what the website looks like, and share that they actually get your inspection done within 15 minutes. And that's true. I've even had my inspections done within 11 minutes. The shortest it's taken is 9 minutes. If you get better at just taking pictures, it's a remote, it's just strictly with your phone. You take pictures, you record a few videos of your car, and you submit it to Rideshare Mechanic. They look at it, review it, and they pass you. And if it doesn't pass, they'll let you know, and then you don't pay anything for it. That's why I love it, because it's a great way. If you meet with a private seller, you basically can say, hey, you know what? Fine, I like the car, it drives well, it looks good, the Carfax checks out right. I'm gonna submit this to my person or rideshare mechanic, whatever you want to tell them, and within 15 minutes you can find out, hey, does this car pass? If it doesn't pass, walk away from the car. The car might look great, but rideshare mechanic will actually be able to access your car and with the pictures and the videos and be able to assess if it will pass. And if they don't pass it, walk away and don't buy the car. If it does pass, you got yourself a deal, and you got a car that could be added to Rideshare Mechanic, and then they'll give you an inspection form that says pass. You add that to the Uber and Lyft, to the HyreCar platform, and you're good. Now, when you get renters, they see that inspection, and now they feel comfortable, and your vehicle will be vetted, and now people can rent it. But you have to pass the inspection. That saves you a lot of time to having to drive around town, go to a Jiffy Lube or a Pet Boys or a Valvoline or to Uber and Lyft hub. It takes a lot of time. And to do that, you can do that still, but this is a way quicker. When you meet people, that should be the first step. I'm gonna put you in a rideshare mechanic, and the cool thing about rideshare mechanic, they actually don't charge you if you pass. They don't charge you if you fail. You only pay if you pass, which is a good it was great. So I would also recommend negotiating that into the price too. So if you actually have rideshare mechanic, you get the price. Say the rideshare mechanic charges you $55 for Uber and Lyft inspection, right? Just say that. And that person that's selling you the car from a private seller wants to sell you a car, deduct that off that too. That's how you negotiate. Those are negotiation basics. The better you get at negotiating, you start to realize you don't really pay for anything. Actually, you just offset. It's all about offsetting. So when I make deals, I don't even really like. I don't even pay what I'm supposed to be paying because I let them pay for it. So if they know it or not. So if someone tells to sell me a car, say for $7,000, I'm like, okay, cool. I'll negotiate even down to get a better deal. The more money you make, the better the deal you make. That's about getting a deal in the wedge. The better deal you get on the car, the more money you'll make because now it's less money you have to spend. And if you offset and say you had to buy a Carfax report, say you had to buy rideshare mechanic for say $55 or whatever, then you just offset that and then you put that into the pricing and reduce the price. And now you just saved right now $90 because 55 plus 35, that's 90. So you just get it, instead of getting it for 7,000 for example, you got it for basically $6,910. Because you deducted $90 off. But even more, you should try to get as low as possible so you can save more money. But I was teaching you very basic negotiation tactics. So when you buy a car from a private seller, that's how you do it. Don't buy a car if it does not pass rideshare mechanic. Don't buy a car if you didn't purchase a Carfax for the car. Always purchase a Carfax for the car. Always purchase rideshare mechanic because at the end of the day, you don't pay anything if it fails. If it fails, you save yourself a lot more money and it's for free. Super hack. This is Layn HyreCar University. That's how you buy from a private seller. But the next step, also, if you want to go buy a car the traditional way, by lease, say you want to lease it from a dealership, or say you want to buy it outright from a dealership, or if you want to finance to own from a dealership, doesn't matter. Same tactic, reverse engineer it. Dealerships usually offer you a Carfax, and if they don't, make sure you buy the Carfax, and same thing, make sure you offset and negotiate that into the price. But most important, most dealerships do understand and they do offer typically some type of vehicle report, usually either through Experian or they offer it through Carfax. That's most dealerships use that actually. So that shouldn't be an issue. That's free anyway typically, and you just review that, make sure it's good, and you're good to go. And if it checks out, make your next step, get rideshare mechanic. That's what you have to do. Get rideshare mechanic, and with rideshare mechanic, it takes within 15 minutes or less, they'll actually take pictures of the car, inside and outside the car, record a few videos, they'll check everything, they'll vet everything for you, and if it doesn't pass, they'll let you know, and that's another tactic you use to negotiate the price down. Be like, hey, they found that this is wrong with the car. They'll have to fix that. You can negotiate the price if you want to still keep the car, or just walk away from the deal. Always do this. It's always good to have 4 eyes than just 2 eyes. Always, the more eyes you have on your side, the better. This is super hack because remember, if it fails, you don't pay anything anyway. You can keep rinsing and repeating. If cars keep failing, that's what you do. Same thing, however, if you want to go to get real crazy in Wild West, I bought cars from the auction before, but you have to be a little more mechanic savvy. Use rideshare mechanic there too. Rideshare mechanic, go to the junkyard, go to the auction, and when you check each car out and everything that you think you're interested in before they actually start the auction, and you pick the one that passes. That's a super hack, people. I could do so many videos on auctions. I have auction experience. I have bought plenty of cars from auctions actually. It's not my favorite, but you can definitely get a good deal there. But you just have to be a little more savvy. So I don't want to encourage that too much, but I don't want to discourage it. It's a great place. You just have to know more. It's really the Wild West. If you get a bad deal, it's on you, baby. That's about it. So, but just that's a huge hack. Use rideshare mechanic if you go to an auction, so you can actually vet the car. And then again, use a Carfax or whatever. So you gotta hit both. You got Carfax to see what the history is, and then rideshare mechanic it. Put that rideshare mechanic in. They'll check your car. If it doesn't pass, you fail, and then you don't have to pay anything. You only pay if you pass, which is phenomenal. So you can do that at auctions, dealerships, or private sellers. Best way to do it. Never leave home without rideshare mechanic. I'll share my screen to show how to do that. Now, if you don't want to use rideshare mechanic for whatever reason, which I don't see why you wouldn't want to use it, but hey, if you don't want to use it, you can always go to Uber or Lyft and they could do a free inspection for you. The only problem is you have to convince, which is possible, and I've done this, you can actually convince before you buy a car, go on a ride. They usually let you test drive the car, especially with COVID-19, they usually let you go by yourself now. Tell them, hey, I'm gonna take the car for a drive before I spend this amount of money on it. They'll understand it because, hey, I'm a serious buyer. I want to buy this car. I'm gonna drive this car around. And what you need to do, find a local Uber or Lyft in your area and then drive it to that Uber or Lyft, have them vet it, and if it passes their inspection, you're good. And then if Uber or Lyft isn't open, say they're closed, or say it's on the weekends, or say they're backed up, go to a Jiffy Lube, a Pep Boys, or another place, pay for it, and negotiate into the deal. Say, hey, I had to pay to get this extra inspection, and negotiate into the deal. You always have more power in negotiating in a deal in the beginning of a deal. once you sign in line, you can't really negotiate. You lost your power. So tell them, I'm not going to buy this car unless you guys take off this $55. It's so cheap where they'll probably be, okay, fine. And if they don't, fine. It's $55 you paid just to get your car, to make sure it's vetted for your investment. That's a business expense. I'm just teaching you how to offset it so you don't have to pay for this. Teach you business 101. But if you can't get out of that, at least it's just $55, and now you have peace of mind at least. Look at business expense, fine, write off in your taxes or something. Talk to your accountant. But that's how you do it, people. Make sure to test drive it, take it to an Uber and Lyft location so they can give you a free, so you don't spend any money, a free inspection on the vehicle. And if it passes, now you know you have a good car. And then also, same thing if you have if you're buying it from a private seller, then you just drive it to a local Lyft or Uber location, or for free, or a local Pet Boys, Firestone, or Valvoline, or some type of inspection area in your area that inspects it. And if it passes inspection, you're good to go. And remember, it's a 19-point inspection that you have to pass. It's a paperwork that you'll get that stamp. It'll say pass, and it's 19 points, and you add that to the HyreCar platform. That's what Rideshare Mechanic gives you. That's what the Lyft Hub gives you. That's what the Uber Hub gives you. And that's what Pet Boys gives you if in your area they do it, and Jiffy Lube does it, and Firestone does it, but area location is different. But they give you that stamp of approval, and they'll give you that paperwork, and you take a picture of it, upload it to HyreCar platform, you're good. But the best way, in my opinion, is to go Rideshare Mechanic way. But I just want to give you other options that you can go to Lyft and Uber, get it for free from them. It's just maybe they might be closed, maybe you got a car on the weekend, maybe they're closed, or maybe they're packed, or because it is a free inspection, it's a physical location, or maybe it's even just too far. So I'm trying to give you a tactic where it doesn't matter where you are, what state you're in, you can use Rideshare Mechanic remotely from your phone, take a picture of it, especially if you're at an auction. You can't drive an auction car off. You use Rideshare Mechanic, and they can vet it for you and make sure and give you a pass or fail. And like I said, you only pay if you pass. There's negotiated into the price. And that's how you do it, people. I love you guys. Like, subscribe, share. Welcome to Layn HyreCar University. I'm here with my 2020 Volkswagen Jetta. I actually have this on Turo, another great platform, but this is not about Turo, this is about HyreCar. HyreCar is another great platform I'm on, and I own 20 cars. This is my other one right here, and I love you guys. Like, subscribe, share. If you guys want to learn how to make more money, follow my next videos. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and I'm gonna share the screen to show you what Rideshare Mechanic website looks like, and it's so easy, and they even say on their website they get done within 15 minutes, but oftentimes you get done sooner than that. Like, subscribe, share, and follow my. Hello everyone, welcome to Rideshare Mechanic. You're officially at ridesharemechanic.com. I love this website. I've used them so many times, really phenomenal. They're open 7 days a week, and you only pay if it passes. They actually implement the whole 19-point inspection. You typically under 15 minutes. Look where it says to the right, no risk or cost is comparable to your local mechanic, and you don't pay unless your car passes the inspection, people. That is phenomenal. That means this is a great way for free. You can actually vet and check when you're buying a car from a private seller, a dealership, if you're leasing it from a dealership, if you're financing to own from a dealership, or you're just buying it cash from a dealership. Doesn't matter what the case is, you can actually use this and check out your vehicle. And if it passes, you have peace of mind, and that's about it. And you can just pay to get your Uber and Lyft inspection. They'll give you a piece of paperwork that says you pass. You add it to the HyreCar platform, and you're in business, people. Pretty convenient, very fast to use. Highly recommend. You shouldn't leave home without this. If you're going to go buy a car, I don't care if it's from a dealership, I don't care if it's from a private seller, I don't even care if it's from an auction. Use Rideshare Mechanic, because at an auction, you can't drive the car to an Uber or Lyft hub anyway. If you're going to go that way of buying cars from auctions, definitely use Rideshare Mechanic, because this will give you huge peace of mind, and it'll let you know right away if the car passes or fails. That's a quick Layn quick tip mixed in with Layn HyreCar University. I love you guys. Like, subscribe, share. Car Layn out. Peace.